Probably will not need these two. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Boy, it looks really bright in here today. It's because it's sunny out. It's like 108.
Oh, what's happening here?
And the sunlight is, or the sun, yeah, the skylight is bright. Is that okay?
Yep.
Might be better.
You know what's
Lighting.
happening? I might need your phone. Oh, never mind. When you go live, it's like kicking me out of all the YouTubes.
Why is that?
I don't know. It happened last week, but it happened again just now.
Do you need my phone?
I don't think so. I'm in, I think.
Huh, I wonder why it's
going to
doing
take me a minute to reconnect.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Hello, hello.
Chad here, Turner's Warehouse. Amy here. I pointed to you, so you gotta say Amy here.
Hey, I'm here.
If you're in the chat and you can type, let us know who you are, where you're from. If you are new, if it's your first time, you got to tell us it's your first time and how you found us, because we're always curious.
And
but we got some fun stuff today.
We have a lot of the normal riffraff in the chat today.
You say the normal what?
The normal riffraff.
Riffraff.
We've got riffraff in the chat.
The riffraff in the house.
Yep.
All right, we'll just give it like 1 minute, get everybody in here, and get started. Yeah, it's a dry heat, all right, but it's sure hot. It's that first like week for us when it goes from like warm to hot. Boy, we complain a lot, and it's like everything feels like it's melting. You'll be standing outside for a few minutes and your feet are starting to like burn from the bottom. It's really crazy. I actually took my temp gun out there last year when it was like 119, and I did it on the blacktop, and it was 170 degrees, and everyone online is like, it can't be, there's no way. But I mean, it's literally 120 out, and the blacktop just absorbs the heat. It'll burn your feet from the bottom. It's nuts. Really crazy.
We all need to like root for Julian. He got big news. He's bidding on a job. The man wants 48 pens.
All right.
So we might be looking at a 48 pen order.
Good luck, man. That's
Woo-woo.
great.
That's awesome, Julian.
Good news. Good news.
And then Bruce Mullins is here.
Yep.
One of our Riff Raff Club.
What's up, Bruce?
He likes the new smock. Can you talk about the new smock, Chad?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the new smock. So we've been working on this for a little while. It's one of our local Riff Raff members is a sew master. That's all his business. He's been in business doing quilting and sewing, and he has an embroidery machine, but he's getting us these smocks. They're
100% cotton.
They're 100% cotton.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff is like half plastic. So these are 100% cotton. It does have this top button and strap, which I will wear only in certain circumstances when like stuff is going down my shirt, because I get hot easy. So it is long sleeve, and I rolled them up, but we're going to offer these if anyone's interested. 100% cotton. It'll come with the Lathe Life and the Turner's Warehouse. It won't say my name. He did that just to show me this. But what's cool is they're button up, and there's a pocket on the inside. So like I'll probably keep my phone in there when I'm turning on my own, so I can have my headphones on and have my phone right here. But yeah, they're really sweet. They're comfortable. I don't know if it's the cotton or what.
Show them the sweet pocket on the side for your pencil.
Oh yeah, there's a pencil pocket. One of these right there.
Pencil ruler pocket.
Yeah, or you can put your gouge in there, your bowl gouge. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. There's no front pockets because you don't want that dust, but it's just to keep you clean when you're just throwing chips and crap all over you. So 100% cotton. They're going to be, with the two logos, because the embroidery costs a little bit, they're going to be about 70 or 75 bucks. We did order a few sizes, so we'll have them soon. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We were trying them on in the store, and we had a couple people who were in shopping, and they were like, can I try them on? And they both ordered one. So I think people will like them once they see them.
Yes, very good point in the chat about back to the heat, just keeping the dog's paws off of the hot
Oh man,
tape.
yeah. Whenever we take Dex to the car, we like have the door open and we run him to the car so he can jump right in because boy, they burn in like no time.
We also have little booties for him.
Oh yeah, he wears booties.
And then
too.
I have a noggle that like takes my AC directly so it can blow right in his face.
Carrie cannot have my old smock because I'll probably still wear it from time to time because I dirty a lot of stuff. But Carrie actually has her own, so she'll have to wear it and do a live stream for you guys because she has one with her name on it. Record Power
she
sent
does.
it to her.
It's pretty great, actually.
Yeah. Hey, a couple quick announcements and then we'll get started because I don't want to just chat. Amy, you have an announcement?
Yeah. Okay, so on my list is we have the Victory Versalock chalks in stock. Also, what we have in stock, but is only like a limited supply, is these knife kits. So if you don't know about these folding knife kits, will you show this up close?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. They're pretty cool. We only got a certain quantity and then they'll be gone and never to be had again. But they're pretty cool. We paired them with the Choya scales that are like our specialty. And all you have to have to do one is sandpaper. Like that's all you've got that you need, which is pretty cool. So those are on special. They're $40 right now for Father's Day for special. You can get it and gift it and then they can shape their own handle, or you can shape the handle and then gift it or keep it for yourself, whatever you want. But anyway, we only have a limited amount and they're selling through, so I thought I would say if you want one, you better get on it because it's not something that's going to be restocked.
And we do have a video Amy posted, what, Monday? Or last week?
Last week.
Showing how to do it. So if you're not sure if you can do it, you can. This is the one I did in the video. And then this one I did last November that I've been carrying around. It's a Camillus knife, which is like a low to mid cost knife, but it's a titanium blade. I tell you what, this thing is crazy sharp. I may or may not have cut myself a few times on it because it is crazy sharp, but it's held up really well. That's 6 months of being in my pocket. But they include the screws. They come with a screw kit, but we included the black screws because I thought they looked cooler with the black. So that's that. What else you got, Amy?
There's just lots of riffraff going on in the chat as well. And it made me distracted. So what I was going to say about the smocks is we did order like a small supply. Did you already say that?
Maybe.
Yeah, we ordered a small supply of the smocks. But if you know you're going to want a smock, like shoot me an email so we can make sure to that we're getting the size you need or that we're ordering enough because our first order is kind of small. So
I ordered large, extra large, 2X, and then a couple 3X. So,
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And what is the size you're wearing right now?
This is a 3X, and I am a big guy, but I actually could wear a 2X, I think. In the front, I got plenty of room, but maybe not in the shoulders.
Yeah.
So maybe 3X if you like I don't know.
Anyway, so that, and then the chuck, which you could talk about in a minute, but then we have big news. First, hearing it here on the live stream, we've been saying all year that we are only going to SWAT this year, but circumstances changed up because we have a killer crew here that we appreciate very much, and it has freed us up to do another show this year that we didn't think we were going to do, but we're very excited about. So we are going to be at the Rocky Mountain Woodturners Symposium, September 19th through the 21st. It's in Loveland, Colorado. Mm-hmm. And they are doing something really, really cool this year that we were very excited about and just excited to kind of promote it as well and excited to be going. This year, their entire demonstrator lineup, they wanted to have a lineup that represented folks who have been underrepresented in the turning world. And so every single one of the demonstrators, the featured demonstrators this year, is a woman. So we thought that was...
Just every demonstrator, not even featured.
Yeah, every demonstrator. So the featured demonstrators and the regional demonstrators, all women. And really awesome, talented, sharp, top of the game, top of the turning world, best of the best folks. Are going to be the ones presenting. So we're really, really excited about that. And you heard it here first.
Yeah, so if you're in the West and you want to go to a symposium, check out Rocky Mountain. It's in the third week, I think, of September. And we're going to drive there. It's a 2-day drive, but at least we can drive because a lot of times we have to fly to everything because everything's back east. So we're excited to have a nice drive through the mountains. So that'll be fun.
Oh, look, Chris is in the chat. And Homer Lex asked, any chance of getting short sleeve smocks? And I was about to say, I'll ask.
Well, Chris will be the man to answer. Chris? Yeah, so good stuff. New smocks. Chucks are in stock finally. We're going to a second show. It's going to be a lot of traveling for those 2 months with SWAT and then Rocky Mountain, but it's going to be fun. Hey, real quick, I will say a program note was the Dane thing, right? Because Dane got moved.
Oh yeah, Dane got moved. I don't know why I don't have that on my list. So we were gonna have Dane Groneman back in to do another demo. He really enjoyed himself the first time and wants to go again. So he's gonna be turning a live edge bowl, and we were gonna do it next week, but it got pushed a week because we have a bunch of remodeling that's gonna take place in our main shop and in the shop that we're in right now. It's basically, I don't know if it's remodeling.
Amy says
so
remodeling.
much.
They're putting insulation in the roof because it's crazy hot.
Yeah, so I mean that's remodeling.
It's kind
so
of remodeling.
They put it in AC so we can teach classes through the summer and have more live streams out here during the summer.
Yeah.
But the insulation hasn't happened yet, and so yeah, they're coming to do that, and it's kind of a big job. So we're gonna be like moving things around. We still plan on a cool live stream for you next week, but it won't be Dane. Dane will be on the 25th, and so live stream next week. We are committing to it. It'll be at 1 o'clock still, and
it's going to be pretty entertaining.
I think it'll be entertaining. I think it's going to be fun.
And fun, yeah.
It might have to do with resin casting, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be good. So that's excellent. If you think of anything else, Amy, let us know, but we'll get started here. What we're going to make, everybody, is a kind of keeping in the Father's Day theme, but I mean, this could be for anybody. We're going to make a razor and brush set, and then it has this cool little stand. All the links are on the front page of the website if you like any of this stuff and want to try it. But we made this kind of special block of resin. We made a few of them. Where'd my other one go? And Amy had the thought of putting black with neons. So we did black, neon green, neon orange, neon red. Am I missing something? Neon yellow, so 4 colors. Was it 4? I think it was 4. And then we're gonna also do it with white with the neons and kind of make a, what did you call it? You had a name for the white and the dark.
Well, I was thinking about the 80s.
Yeah,
and
like
just how there were like lots of neon stuff in like the 80s and the early 90s. But then we put black in it, so I was calling it Gothic because I had a whole Gothic phase when I was young.
In the 80s?
In the 90s.
So this looks, you can kind of see on the end of this one, the swirls and colors, because the outside you can't really tell. That's the fun thing about resin casting is it looks kind of blah, but then when you start looking at the end, you get to see the swirls and the colors. They kind of jump out at you. So what we're making is a razor handle right here, and then a brush. And this is my first time making this brush. I've made a lot of other brushes, but this is actually a mandrilled brush kit, and it's really cool, and I'm going to show you a couple things about it. But let's knock out the razor handle first. This is a Mach 3. We also have, what's the other one besides Mach 3? Fusion?
Yeah, Fusion.
Is it called Fusion?
Also, sorry to everyone in the chat. I'm trying to catch up.
Got another button.
What up, Brian from Lancaster?
All right, so this is Alumilite resin cast here. We are going to have some fun blanks the next couple weeks available, and we'll let you guys know first. If you watch this, and you're probably aware of the Facebook page we have called Turner's Warehouse Turning Team, If you are on Facebook, jump in there because we always do stuff there first before we do it anywhere else. So that way you guys get to see it ahead of time. Ooh, Amy, I forgot one thing. Hey, Carrie, if you're watching, would you grab my power cap from the back over there and bring it over? I totally forgot it.
We have a question. How does the Record Power Chuck compare to the Easywood Tools Chuck? That's a good question.
How does it compare? So it's kind of apples and oranges. The Easywood Tools Chuck is the Easy Chuck. Great chuck. If you're not aware of the Easywood Tool Chuck, it's made in the US. Really nice chuck. My only negative of it is it's kind of expensive, but everything's kind of expensive these days. But it has the scroll ring, which is nice, speed ring. But then the big thing is removing the jaws are that fast. So, and then putting jaws in it are that fast. So really handy. The Record is, this is a more traditional chuck. It's a 4-inch body just like that. But the big thing about this one, the Victory, it's all sealed, which is nice. And it has this, they call it a safety band, but really it's, for me, it's an alignment band because you got the numbers. Plus it's green, so like it registers in your head when it's spinning. But the Versalock jaws come on it, and I was kind of showing these while Amy was talking. The Versalock jaws are these little inserts, and there's 3 different ones with more to come. And I'll tell you, because I just saw a sneak peek and talked about some new ones with them. There's some really cool jaws coming for these inserts, I should say. So you just put the insert in, and if I put all 4 in, then now I have this little dovetail insert for small stuff. So I don't have to change my chuck to do different things. I just use this one screw, and it's kind of an easy system. But one other thing, I went to drill my handle blank, and I must have used a slightly bigger PVC tube that we cast in, and it didn't fit in my normal pen jaws because they have a limit, and I was just a little big. So I actually used these jaws, and it worked pretty good because these are longer. So I've used these for quite a few things. There's a dovetail at the top, so I'll cut a little ring into stuff and then seat it into that dovetail, and it doesn't move. So, so how do they compare? They're just different animals. They both are chucks. They both are high quality. The Easy Chuck is real nice and fast, but a little more expensive on certain aspects. And then the Versalock. The Versalock is $289.
Carrie, who are you shouting out?
Carrie, you got to give a shout out, Carrie.
Also, Jamie from JP Woodworks in the chat, and he said, he super chatted, and he's like, I'm singing the Chad song.
Oh,
C-H-A-D.
thanks, Jamie.
What's the Chad song?
On their show, they have a thing. It's all C-H-A-D Chad.
Oh,
C-H-A-D Chad. They play that every time I'm in the chat. It's pretty funny.
I'm shouting out everybody.
No, you got to pick one person.
Well, Mike, Lexa, and Myra.
Mike and Myra. Okay, that's a double.
They're both
That's
in the
a
chat.
double. They were the only ones who emailed me. Thank goodness, because
Yes.
I get a lot of emails.
So Carrie,
So,
shout
Jim
out
says,
of the
hi,
week.
Carrie.
Hey, Jim.
Carrie, shout out of the week. Mike and Myra, you
Hey.
made it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike, you're welcome for me not sending more glitter.
Oh, yeah. All right, think about next week because you got to do a shout out of the week next week.
Man.
Carrie's shout out of the week. We'll have to develop a graphic. And a song, yeah. But anyway, yeah, thanks JP. That's awesome. Speaking of JP Woodworks, if you haven't watched his YouTube channel, he's got awesome turning videos, and he does it mostly with Easy Wood carbide. So check those out. I was actually watching them last night. I watched 2 of them last night. So always good stuff and fun.
Everybody's talking about getting short-sleeved of those. And then it's funny because Chris was like, they could be modified. And then Homer Lex said, modified by me with scissors.
Well, I mean, so
Chad was talking about modifying his today, too.
I typically wear short sleeves everywhere, even in Alaska. So my green one I always wear was a long sleeve because it came from the UK and apparently it's chillier there. And my mom, who's a sewer, short sleeved it for me. So, I mean, I don't think it's that hard if you know someone who sews. I'm debating on this one, and I kind of like the rolled sleeve in case I want to use it long, so I'm not going to cut it yet, but I may someday make it short sleeve. We'll see.
Yeah. Charles is in the chat. Bobby Shelton's in the chat.
Hey, what's up, guys? All right, so let's get started on this. This is the razor handle. It's going to be a fairly straightforward thing. Sorry I don't have more like comparison, both really good chucks. The Easy Wood is the easy release, made in America. It's nice. This is a really high quality sealed chuck. The Versalock jaws, ooh, this is a good thing. These Versalock jaws come on the Victory. The Victory is the chuck. But we have these Versalock jaws and all the inserts separately, and you can put these on any SC3 or SC4 record chuck or any Nova, G3 or Supernova, and even some Sorbies. So if you don't want to get a whole new chuck, but you like this system, which I'm telling you, with what's available and with what's coming, it's going to be a must-have. You could just do the jaws, and we have packages where you can get these jaws and the 3 inserts, or you can buy them individually as you need them, whatever. So you can do this without a new chuck, but this new chuck is really nice. I've used this a lot in the last 2 months, more than I would have guessed, because I have a lot of chucks. All right, so finally, let's turn this sucker. And, oh, that light's on. Where's it showing up?
Myra said she's glad she upgraded because she just got the inserts first and then she got the new chuck and she's really happy with it.
That's true, she did. All right, one other thing, and this, I mean, we're not trying to make this a plug episode here, but I am going to use these new tools. These are the Record Power carbide tools with the Pro Comfort handle. If you're going to SWAT, we will have these there. You can play with them, and they are really nice. I'm really digging them. What camera are we on? We're good. This is the round bar, round insert. Let's see how this color looks inside. All right, I'm turning fast. With most pen stuff, I'll turn as fast as my lathe will go. And I really need to put my glasses on because it's looking a little fuzzy down there. All right. Let's see how this color looks. Oh yeah, we're getting some swirls in there. I think this set is going to be pretty cool. Let me throw my glasses underneath these. So this is a nice thing about the power cap is you can wear your glasses under it. Plus, I can put my glasses on and off pretty easy. Oh, there we go. Now I can see it.
That's cool. Alvaro said, I just got a new Pro Comfort tool. Seems like a small change, but you can feel the difference versus a round handle. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I was just talking with Record Power, actually the owner of Record Power, right before this live stream. And I was saying, like, the Pro Comfort is a really cool thing, but it's really hard for us because you can't really photo it or describe it. It's just a different shape. But once you hold it or turn with it, you're like, oh, it's totally nice. And the reason is you can index. So like, because it's like 3-sided versus round, you can hold it and like when you move, it's really, really easy and comfortable. So I think I'm going to make this handle fairly straight. We're going to let the colors do the work. Again, this was the neons with black. All the neons I used were the eye candy, which Amy has on sale, right, this week?
Yeah.
And the molds.
I gotta tell you, I like those colors.
Yeah.
I also am advocating hard for us to do a similar thing, but with white.
Yeah.
So there's like a neon and a neon gothic.
Yeah, so these are like the neon, like UFO green. You guys can say the names if you can think of them. Plastic pink, Firebird red, like all the crazy, the ones that are really hard to stir too. They like stir like flour.
They are different to stir. It's weird.
Yeah, they kind of stink to stir. If Jake pops in, we got to tell him to watch next week because we're gonna use one of Jake's toys next week.
Yeah, Jake.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Jamie's in the chat, but
Yeah, we're gonna use the funnel next week.
we're gonna use
Hey,
the fun funnel.
So actually,
the
you can
live
see in this these two dots. Maybe you can see, and that's the powder not totally mixed. And Amy can tell you, we were really diligent about mixing, but we still get these dots. The positive is they're hard. They're not like holes, but they look different, which isn't great, but it actually looks cool. So as long as they're not like powder pockets, you know, that don't mix in, I don't mind them.
Darren said, I'm not familiar enough with goth versus emo, but if you did neon emo, you could call it Nemo.
Nemo? Neon
funny.
emo? That's pretty good.
I don't know. I feel like my generation, we were goth, and then the next generation, they were emo. But that is me as an older person saying what I think it is, which I'm sure the youngins would be like, that's not what it is at all.
I don't know what you guys are even talking about. I had a job and went fishing a lot, so I missed all that.
Hey, Mark, welcome. We got shout outs for Jamie's account. Woo woo.
Oh yeah. Jamie's is one I watch pretty regularly because
Yeah, we do watch it in the evenings quite often.
there's a lot of stuff out there, and some of it good, some of it bad, but his are always real good. All right, those swirls look pretty cool actually, and then now we couldn't really see it before, and even though we're not polished, the black pearl, like it's the ninja black, it's real shiny and has like pearlescent. So once we polish this, it'll look really good. Okay.
Hi,
so
Anita.
my mom Anita or different Anita?
Different Anita.
Oh, okay. So real quick, let's talk about the brush. This is the handle. This is pretty easy. The brush is pretty cool because, let's see, how can I best show this? I got this neon graffiti going on here. Okay, well, that didn't help. Okay, so the bushings are pretty straightforward once you know how the blank works.
Nice.
This is a mandrel turning thing, but it has a little bit of a catch. So in this front, you can see there's a little lip cut in there, a little, what would that be, a mortise? Recess, whatever. And then you see the tube, and then the back is flat. So the bushings also have this little step, right? Oh, there we go. Nope. Hold on. I'm at a weird angle. So that step goes into the hole, and then this is what I'm turning to, the outer part. And my mandrel will still go through the whole thing. And then the back bushing will go on fairly normally, like this on the mandrel. And I'm turning to that. And the reason being, when we go to assemble, there's a cup, and this is for the brush itself, and this will press into the tube and then sit down in that hole. Oh, where am I? So it'll press into the tube and then sit down in the hole flush, and the back will press on, and then we'll epoxy the brush into the cup. I like this because in the past I always made these handles without a kit and it was fine, and I would cut the hole and glue the brush in, but then sometimes the wood would either crack, because I use a lot of stabilized wood, which I probably shouldn't have used. Resin is better. That's why we did resin. But I think having this separate cup that it's epoxied into might be a little better for like the long term. I guess we'll find out. So who knows? And then here's the back end. It's just a little button, tiny little button finish thing. Now the other cool thing is we have a stand for this. So the razor's going to sit in the stand right there, and the brush will hang. So I want to make sure that my brush goes over and then sits down in it. So I actually want to leave a fairly bulbous part at the end of this, because if I turn the whole thing skinny, it's just going to fall right through. Ooh, actually, I mean, I don't have a lot of room to turn here, and it's going to fall right through. We'll have to see. I'm barely going to take anything off of this to see how it works. But I think if we had to, I think we could bend this in a little bit, because I have seen that done. And we could probably make it work. So let's give it a try.
Julian says, Chad, did you scuff the tubes?
I did not scuff the tube. I am not a tube scuffer.
Oh, yeah. And today's steampunk.
Hmm?
We're all talking about like goth and steampunk and emo.
Gotcha. So these bushings don't go inside the tube. It's a 7 mil tube. They just go up against it. We'll get that ready. So that one is set down in. I do have a little bit of space there, which is fine. I could have drilled the hole deeper, but I actually didn't want to drill the hole too deep, because then I would have less pressing into the tube, and I wanted a good connection there. I wasn't planning on gluing that cup. I was just going to press it in. So we'll see if I have to glue it. I don't know yet. All right, we'll get started here. I'm going to throw the power cap on. And we're just going to round this thing up. So let's see if I've gotten all the way around. I drilled this on the lathe, so I should be fairly centered. Oh yeah, it looks like we're pretty good. Now there again, I can see some dots from the neon, especially the pink, couple of green. Amy must have stirred those too.
What?
I'm just kidding. But yeah, they do have some dots in there, but you know.
I did stir some of them.
Nothing I can do now. If Charles is in here, he knows. He hates those dots.
Homerluck says, anyone asking Chad if he scuffed the tubes loses 10 riffraff points.
Yeah, total riffraff score.
Oh, man.
The answer is always, of course I scuffed the tubes. If that's what you're into. Oh my gosh, this
We
stuff
have
is
a
like
question
static.
about bushings.
Yeah, what is it?
That's, I mean, it's somewhat related because bushings. Somebody turned using their TBC center with the seamer bushings, and they had a hard time removing the bushings from the TBC adapters. Is there like a particular reason why after they turned?
It could have been a couple things. If you sanded and got water in there, there could be little specks of rust, or there could be debris from the turning if you weren't sanding, if it's just turning. You can get stuff in there. You can spray them with like WD-40 to kind of keep them clean, but sometimes the TBC adapters do that. And every now and then I'll take my TBC adapters with like some high grit, like 1,000 grit, and I just go like this on the shaft part, and that keeps like all the debris and dirt and crap away, because they eventually will get stickier as you put them in, because stuff will build up on them. Plus, like, think of all the dust that gets everywhere. It'll get on those too and just compact. So that helps. All right, so what I think we're going to do here is take this in a little bit to the bushing. Just on the bottom here. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so thin. It's like turning spaghetti. These strings are tiny.
Yes. Someone said cool. Darren said cool colors. And I'm like, yes, I chose those colors. Except for, wait, what 4 colors are in there? Is there pink in there?
Yeah, I think it was pink, red. They're all neons. Pink, red, green, and yellow. I'm pretty sure there were 4. It's hard to tell. My goodness. That gap, that's the problem with the gap, is the strings get in there. All right, let's go for it. Once it gets in there, I can't see. Ugh, get off. I'll come back with the detail tool and see if I need to get up closer. And then the back, we're going to turn away a bunch of this. Oh man, we're going to have a mess when we're done here. It's like somebody keeps shooting me with silly string. How could you not love wood? At least it falls to the ground. What a mess. Look at that thing. It's like a bird's nest. Oh my. Look at this stuff. It's all like super thin. Oh. How come it looks so yellow in the strings, but doesn't look near as yellow in the blank? Get all this off here. Oh, look at your blank now. You see that, Amy? Here, let me do a close-up. Look at the colors now. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so hard on the outside to see what they're looking like. But look at the...
Kev says that's payback for Carrie's glitter bomb.
Yeah. Why do I get the payback? All right. We're just going to keep going here. We'll just have to stop and clean it off occasionally because it's really crazy.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Good point. Mark says I found that a toothbrush works well for taking off those shavings while the lathe is running.
Yeah, that would be handy. Oh my goodness. Look at this, here's my tailstock right now. Like it's just covered. It's crazy. it's just a swoop of a mess. It looks like there's way more here than there was in the whole blank. So, tell me how that works, science. Okay.
That's a good idea, Julian.
What?
He was saying they should make shop toothbrushes. Like if you had a little toothbrush that said Turner's Warehouse.
Oh, I'm sure they must. Okay, actually here, let's stop real quick.
Okay, wait. I also think I missed something. Somebody's asking about what kind of resin, maybe?
It's Alumilite, clear slow. So what I want to look at is the stand, because I want to shape my piece here, but I want to make sure that I have enough resin to sit. Okay, I do. So as long as I don't go too much smaller, or really any smaller, on the big part here. Now I can round it and do all that, which I'm going to do, but I just want to make sure it'll sit in the stand, which we're looking good. And the colors are looking cool. Look at these colors. It's starting to really come out. The swirls are starting to come alive, but you see all those dots of neon graffiti. The swirls look cool. All right.
We use Alumilite Clear Slow on these.
Yeah, these are clear slow.
Mike says, looks like a fishing reel backlash.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Professional overrun is what we called those.
Charles says, I've mixed the neon mica powders in the part A for an extended period of time, and I still get some of the clumps in the final mix.
Yep.
Jeff at Eye Candy says you can use denatured alcohol to break up the clumps. Opinion of the day. I have a pen that Charles made me that has the neon colors, but it has a bunch of clumps in it, and it looks so cool with the clumps.
Yeah, but I know.
Here, if you want to show it on the camera.
Here, I know Charles hated those clumps, but they do look cool.
He hated it, and I was like, "That is the coolest thing ever," because like
yeah,
you never
neon.
see like spots like that.
Yeah, this is a fountain.
It's pretty much my favorite pen right now.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I mean, come on, those specs, it's awesome. And for some reason, the specs are like really bright too.
Well,
Which
they're
I guess
just
makes
pure
sense.
neon.
They are neon, and it's like concentrated in the spec. It looks so cool.
So I'm going to do some of the shaping with sandpaper on the round part here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Rick Timmerman says he uses a gun cleaning brush.
Oh yeah, that would work.
Also, Rick, if you're down here, sorry, my brain is catching up with the chat from like way above. If you want to come try Chad's to see if it is a good size for you.
Try what?
Come on by. We're talking about the smocks.
Oh yeah. So I've never used a...
Charles says he likes the clumps now. Whoopee!
I've never used a shaving brush. I'm assuming you just want it shaped to where you can hold it. That's why I kind of went a little skinnier there. I'm going to go a little more. Try to get rid of some of this craziness.
Oh, that's cool. I should know that. Homer Lex says Zach did a live stream showing techniques on how to bust the clumps.
That Zach, he knows about resin stuff really well.
He does know about resin stuff real well.
He's pretty good.
I need to be on his lives more, but sometimes on Saturday I'm like doing other
Well, we're
stuff.
always gone when his are on.
But I am definitely pro clump. I think it looks cool.
Whoa! Don't do that. Everybody see what I did? I backed into it. So my edge here went into the uphill, and so I knew better. But I did it anyway. Why is that? I always tell everybody here, like, it's okay to make mistakes, just kind of make sure you know why you did it so you don't do it again. Plus I was using that more skewish, and then I totally backed into the hill. Oh, I even chipped it a little. I gotta turn that out. Got some chipping right in the middle there where I caught it.
Darren says you did that to show us what not to do, right?
Nah, that was a good old-fashioned mistake. I was just going back and forth and not thinking about my angle. But I will now. Oh man.
Jamie says, are you using negative rake?
I am not. I don't have a negative rake round on any of my tools, so that would actually help. But I probably still would have caught that because I went right into the side of it at an angle. But it didn't do much because this is pretty forgiving resin. So I think we're okay. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little shape in here with some sandpaper. Hey Amy, will you give me a water thing when you have a minute? No rush. So let's get this out of the way. It looks like a top, but I think it'll be a good handle for picking it up. I guess we'll find out. Do you keep hearing that weird whistling, like somebody outside has a weird noise happening? Okay, we're gonna clean this up as much as I can in a hurry. Look, there's even on the levers. I'm gonna pop out in my Falcon. This is the Falcon Live Center. And hear that right there? What is that weird whistle?
I don't know. I totally can hear it though. Something outside.
So you can take out that was a pen mandrel saver end, and now I can put in just a regular 60-degree cone. Do I want the long one? Let me put in the long one. Excuse me. Or so I say you can. There we go.
Jamie says it's a wolf whistling at you.
But it's this weird.
Can
like,
you guys hear it?
Like it keeps happening outside, but I don't know what it is.
There it is again.
It's really annoying, whatever it is.
Do you think it's the AC? Can you guys hear that?
No, it's outside.
It does.
Can you get me water?
Huh? Yeah.
Water, water. Water, 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 water. Oh, I don't know why I grabbed that. I have one right here. All right. So, oh man, we don't get all this floaty light stuff in our resin. Okay, so all that was on the wrong camera. I put in the Falcon. I took out the pen. Clearly, Amy is focused on the chat and not what I'm saying. I took out the mandrel saver end and put in this long. Amy, while I appreciate that, could you get me that water?
Oh. You mean you didn't want a vitamin water that's cold?
I mean,
from the fridge?
That's very nice of you. Just
Sorry.
some sanding water.
Usually I am like trying good to pay
No, I just said
to
you're
you
listening to the chat and not.
and
not
pay attention
me.
to the chat, but the chat is kind of on fire today, so like.
Oh, good. So the cool thing about this long nose is remember how we're kind of
There you go.
cut into this. Thank you. Oh, if it's cold, I'll
You want your bigger buddy?
put it on my face. No, I'm good. So this long nose goes down in there, whereas if it was the cone, I would have a more difficult time sanding the end of this, so I should be okay there. So I think we'll start there. And I got sandpaper ready to rock. I'm going to use 600 wet dry paper. This is just like automotive grade wet dry. We have it in the store, but just you can get it anywhere that sells good paper. I'm not a Harbor Freight hater by any means, but I always say don't buy sandpaper at Harbor Freight. That's the one thing. I actually like Harbor Freight, but sandpaper there stinks. It falls apart. So I'm going to wet sand this. That's quite a sound.
Oh my God, what was that?
I didn't tighten up the live center. It was just
That was not
catching
a great
and
sound.
spinning. So it's tight here now. So I'm just going to wet sand this. And what I was going to do is, because I can sand this a little bit, boy, this stuff sands fast. I can round this off a little better. I didn't want to take off too much because that's what's holding it in the stand. Boy, you got to keep this stuff wet. Like, keep it dripping. And then I'm going to work the whole thing. You know, maybe I'm getting some of those little popper color pieces off here. I don't know. Can't tell. Oh boy, stuff's everywhere. This is why you have a turning smock, because I can take this smock off and leave all these shavings in this room and not carry them throughout the whole place. Oh man, what am I doing? I'm turning like way too fast. No wonder it was seeming crazy, because it was. All right, take a look at that. It's starting to look pretty cool. And it kind of looks like a mushroom.
I just walked past. Bleh. I just walked past Dexter, and he was napping in my office.
Yeah, he's a bit of a napper. Okay, that's a little better speed. It's hard to go from turning to polishing and remember not to go full speed.
Oh my gosh. I feel like my internet is...
What the heck is that whistle?
I don't know. They said they can kind of hear it sometimes.
It's super weird. Now, I always start pretty high. This is 600, so that's the lowest grit I'm going to do. You could start lower, but then you're just going to have to keep sanding through more grits. I'd rather kind of sneak up on it, I always say, to not have to do a bunch of sanding. Typically, I'll do 400, 600, 800, or just 600, 800. In this case, just 600, 800. And it'll give me what I need, because I'm really just sanding out any tool marks or getting any last shaping bits I want. Like I wanted to round this a little more with the sandpaper versus the tool. So it's working pretty easily.
Thanks, Carrie. I was trying to say that, but like I'm having technical issues on my computer.
Let's look now. Oh man, look at that thing. Looks psychedelic. Yeah, those are some weird little pockets of color that happen.
Yeah, Carrie's email is only for bribes. I couldn't think of the word.
Oh, that's it?
Pretty much just bribes. Bribes and shout outs.
You mean for the shout outs?
Yeah.
Carrie's shout out of the week is now up for bribing.
Carrie just got a super chat from Jamie. Drinks
What?
for Carrie. Woo woo.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Thanks, Jamie.
Very cool, Jamie. You know, we're supposed to get over there to the UK one of these days to go visit Record Power. We'll have to come say hello if you're in the area. I don't know how it works over there.
Everything is much closer over there.
Well, I assumed everything's much closer
All we
than
gotta
like
do is jump on a train.
the US is so spread out.
Bruce says, suck up. That made me laugh.
That's right. Yep. All right. I think this magic mushroom is about done for this part, and then we're going to polish it. Check it out here. Looks pretty cool. So I'm going to use Zona paper. If you've watched before, you've seen Zona paper many times. I just cut off some of the sheet. It's 6 sheets, and it can be reused. I usually say I use it for 4 or 5 pens, meaning pen bodies. So 2-part pens, I'd use two pens worth. And then it'll start to lose its potency. But we're really just going to polish. It won't take away, you know, tool marks and lines and other things you need to correct with something else like a tool or sandpaper, but it will make everything shiny. That's its only job. So I'm really getting the end here. Oh yeah, it's already shiny after one pass. You can tell it's getting better. So this will be cool once we get to assemble because of the fact that we are going to have to epoxy the brush in, but we won't have to epoxy the cup and the brush. So that'll save us a little time, plus it'll look a little more finished having the cup brush, the brush cup. I don't know if that's the right word.
Jamie says, yeah, you can get from the very north to the very south of the UK in 12 hours driving.
Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome, though. Yeah, and it's got to be, well, I was just talking to the owner of Record Power at around 10:30. It was 7:30 his time. So, Jamie, you're up late.
And Jennifer. And
And
Jennifer is total Riff Raff Club. She's here every week.
Jennifer's here every week, too. Yeah, you guys stay up late. I like it.
She says Record Power headquarters is about 20 minutes from her.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
When we go.
Oh, we'll
Maybe-
do a meetup when we go with
maybe
everybody
next
that's over
year,
there.
Yeah, we'll get together for coffee.
Oh, they don't do coffee. They do tea.
Tea. Oh, yeah.
Tea and biscuits. I'm totally
Carrie
stereotyping, I
is
know.
totally, well, no, it made me laugh twice because we've been watching Ted Lasso again, which, shout out to that show, it's so good, and he hates tea, and so it made me laugh. And Jimmy says, no, it's early for me. And Anita sent Carrie a super chat so she can supersize her drink.
Oh no, supersize. That's all we need is Carrie with more caffeine. Too funny. Is that the riff part of the riff and the raff? Is riffing on
I don't know.
everything?
I don't even know how the riff raff thing started. We
I
were all
think
just
somebody said who
joking
let in all
it.
the riff raff and then it just
Yeah,
stuck.
it totally stuck. I wonder who said that.
Well, somebody will have to go back and study the chats.
I
And
wonder if it was. I don't know. It's really good though. I love it.
uh-oh.
Mark says, I don't think you can get from the top of Texas to the bottom of Texas in 12 hours.
I think it does take 12 hours to drive across Texas because we drove from the west side of Texas to the center of Texas, and it was a solid 8 hours at least because we do it when we drive to SWAT. That's why we don't drive to SWAT anymore because driving half of Texas takes 8 hours. And it's a straight line with nothing. It's crazy. It's like the most mundane drive. All right, let's see here.
Yeah. Jamie says Riff Raff Club needs to be on a shirt if it ain't already.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Yes, the bribery email for Carrie. Just kidding. Nobody actually needs to bribe her. But the
No.
email is carrie@turnerswarehouse.com.
I'm sure she would love that. Yeah, but don't actually send her a bribe of any sort other than a verbal bribe.
Yeah.
So for some reason I
But
didn't
thank you
have
for the
white in
super
my
chats,
hand.
and we will buy the staff coffee.
Sure.
Or tea, or whatever they want from Dutch Bros.
Yeah. All right, you guys, this is going to be pretty stellar, I have a feeling, because you can start to see the shine really come through. And that sounds silly because we're wet sanding, but it really looks cool. Oh, there we go. Preview. All right, I'm going to do one thing here.
Carrie says she doesn't need a bribe to shout out this amazing crew.
Nice.
All this riffraff.
So much riffraff. Hey, will you see if the McGuire's is over there in the trays anywhere?
What does it look like?
It's the polish that we use sometimes. I'm out of ring bling. Oh no, wait, maybe I'm not out of ring bling. Never mind, I'll use ring bling. Cancel, Amy.
Cancel.
So this is ring bling. It's like a cleaner polish in these little bottles that we have. We originally bottled it up for making rings, but now we use it for polishing pens and everything else too. I'm at the end of the bottle here. And it just kind of gives it a wet look and really cleans it up nice. You just don't want to use your paper towel on your project dry because it'll definitely scratch it. So I'm only rubbing where the ring bling was, and then I'm going to wipe it all off. Oh, take a look at that. When you hear that, you know it's good. That looks killer. Hey, nice colors.
Harold says, got a town called Levelland in West Texas, a place where you can see your dog run away for like 3 days.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I was amazed the first time I drove across Texas because it's like, you know, you jokingly say it's forever, but it's literally forever. And it's a straight line. And you look on the GPS and it's a straight line. And then you zoom out like 1,000 miles and it's a straight line still. And it's like, how is there not one curve in this road ever? It's pretty crazy. Here, this looks pretty cool.
It's crazy how big the United States is comparatively.
Yeah. Look at that bottom. All right, let's do the handle real quick and then we'll assemble, because I think the assembly will be the really fun part. But we'll do this one quick, so hang with us, people. Hang with. Amy already grabbed it.
I don't see any pink in there.
No pink? Maybe we...
I
sure
feel
we
like I
used
was
pink.
pushing for pink, and then we
No,
were
no.
like, this is Father's Day.
I guarantee there's pink. Maybe it just didn't get in that particular part of the pour. But I know there was pink in there because there's some of those other blanks had a lot of pink in them. So I think it was just that particular one didn't get a lot of pink or any pink. I don't know. We kind of ran out of time with this pour, and we'll talk about it more next week. But I was pouring 4 colors as accents, and then the black was the bulk. So with every pour of a pink, green, yellow, or red neon, I was pouring black, and it was really tough. And to wait the time you need to have the stuff start to not set, but thicken, I was really at the end of the time rope and didn't have a lot of wiggle room, so I had to start pouring faster and faster, which leads to less swirls. but it's still, they look cool. But what I'm going to do is pour smaller quantities. I was pouring like 20 pen blanks and a few handles, and it was just too much for how much pouring I had to do with 4 colors and the black. So sometimes you have to scale back your quantity so that you have more time to pour these little bits, because the little bits give you a lot of the feathers and the swirls when you're pouring vertical. And if you try to do too many at once, you just run out of time.
You're right. Darren looked it up. He said red, yellow, pink, green.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you, Darren. 10 riffraff points.
10 riffraff points.
Oh, this looks way better now. Look at this. Let's zoom in here. Boop.
So then Chris also asked, what's the name of the blank? And I was telling him in the chat that it was a custom that we poured just to try out the colors and see if maybe it might be like a new color that we want to might try and make continuously.
Yeah. We will. We're going to improve it though.
We do have a few. Ooh, that looks cool, Chad.
Yeah, it looks really good. We have a few if anybody wants them. They'll just be the same as any of our other top choice, but we will improve the swirling and the blending because of what we did the first time with the quantity. And that's how we do some of our others. We have to pour them in smaller quantities.
And then if you want to look at them, under Chop Choice blanks, under pen and handle, something that is somewhat similar, although it doesn't have black in it, but it's pretty killer, is what my pen was, is the Deadhead.
Yeah, that's the one we showed earlier, the fountain pen I showed. The Deadhead is really cool.
I think my fountain pen is a little bit unique because it was a test at the beginning, but the Deadhead ones are really killer. I was just looking at them earlier today.
They're more refined.
They look awesome.
Well.
They have blue in them, which I think is a good addition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look, shall we? A look-see.
I agree, Kev. I agree, because I was like, that's an interesting shape. He says Chad always turns some interesting handle shapes.
Well.
And I'm like, Chad does. He does what he wants.
I think once it's assembled, it'll make sense. Bear with me, Kev. It's hard to turn a shape under pressure. Oh, what did I do that for?
I think Chad turns things that, like, when I picked it up just now after he set it down, I was like, oh, it feels nice to hold. And then I was like, I get it.
Well, I think it'll look good too once it's assembled. It looks odd. I will give you this. It looks odd right now.
Well, it doesn't look odd. It just looks different from most of
Well, most of them are more rounded and like whatever. But this one, because of the colors, I think it'll look cool. There was some intention behind it.
Jamie says, Deadhead, is that a goth term? It totally is a throw to the Grateful Dead because it seemed kind of psychedelic.
I'm sure Jamie's a Grateful Dead person. I bet. He seems like a deadhead. Oh yeah, look at that guy.
I will say, so the Grateful Dead was at the Sphere in Vegas, and one of our regulars, he's not here today, but he went to see that show, and it looked like the visuals for it were insane.
I would go to the Sphere to see it, but aren't the Grateful Dead's the one who do like 20-minute instrumentals and
Well, you're
crazy...
jamming.
Pass.
Yeah, no, I think you might like it though. Like we've gone to see Dave Matthews multiple times where they just jam and it's like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, but that's a little different than a Deadhead jam.
Why?
I don't know. It seems different to me.
I don't know. The visuals looked insane.
Well, that Sphere looks really cool for anything. Okay, let's put this together. The handle is pretty simple. They just press in. You can unthread the Mach 3 part, which you definitely want to do. Let's see. I think that needs to be the top and that needs to be the back. So we're going to do that.
Norman said, you don't turn under pressure, you cast under pressure.
Under pressure. Yes. Under pressure turning.
Oh, I did forget to mention the cold. Kev said it must be cold in the shop today. It's interesting. Handle size.
The what?
Are we talking shrinkage? Any
All right,
Seinfeld
so
fans out there?
there we go. Amy, you want to move this lower camera again to this area where the press is? You like twist the back part and it'll,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go.
I got you.
There you go. Thank you, Amy. That's good. Lock it in. All right, so I'm using the Miles Craft press as I always do. Make sure I don't get any strings of resin inside the press here.
Harold, have you been to the Sphere? Like, it does look crazy. I would like to go.
I mean,
but want
that's,
it to be
if I was
the
going
right
to
show.
shave, that's a pretty cool handle, actually. Look at all the dust from my hand.
Yes! Homer Lex. Plus 25 riffraff points for clicking the like button.
Oh,
Do
there we
it,
go.
Do it.
Okay, so there's part one. Oh, I'm out of the shot. There's part one. Now I think the fun part will be the handle. Let's do that.
See you later, Julian.
Okay, so.
Jake Thompson has entered the chat.
Hey, Jake, thanks for stopping by. I wanted to let you know next week we will be using your fun funnel in the live stream if it's authorized. So I will need authorization to do that. It's going to be pretty great. All right, let's put this together. We've got the handle. Like I said, the cup actually does press into the tube. That's why it sticks out like this. So let's put this end in first. Hopefully I turned that well. Ooh, I hope I didn't over sand it. I guess we're about to find out. Ooh, this is tricky.
Oh, that's awesome. My men's ice hockey league team was named the Skateful Dead.
Skateful Dead.
That's awesome.
Ooh, I sanded a little bit. It looks okay, but I could have done it a little better. All right, so now I'm going to press in this guy, which I'm going to have to put into the plunger here. So I want to make sure I'm good and lined up.
Jake says, I guess.
Well,
Technically, he said, ooh my, I guess, LOL. Or lol.
all right, so
depending.
now you guys can see where we're going with this. There's the handle. This part gets epoxied in to there. Okay, now bear with me because you guys were questioning my shapeage.
Nice.
So that will go there and then it'll sit, boom. So let's epoxy this thing so we can get it. Oh no, I'm gonna have to hold it up. No, I can put it upside down. Oh, I guess you could put it upside down too. That looks pretty cool. Amy, you want to zoom out a tiny bit?
Yeah.
Just a tiny. Just a tiny. Just a tiny bit. Oh, right there. Perfect. All right, I'm going to use 2-part epoxy. I'm going to use 5 minute. So we will be out of here in 5 minutes. Not really, because you don't ever want to count on this stuff after 5 minutes. Just so you know, with epoxy glues like this, the shorter the time frame, the more brittle it is. So a 5-minute epoxy is going to have more ability to crack or break than a 30-minute or even a 15-minute. So if you're worried about that, a lot of times you'll use a 30-minute because it'll have more of an elasticity than the 5-minute. But the 5-minute is nice because you want to be done. That being said, I've never really had an issue with 5-minute having a problem, but that's what the deal is. So mix that up nicely, and then we're going to put it in the cup. I'm going to have some wonderful resin. Now this is a badger hair, but it is a synthetic badger hair because I'm sure using real badger hair is not cool as it used to be. Plus, do you really need badger hair? I don't know what the difference would be. Anybody use a shaving brush Can anyone give us insight into what the shaving brush does? I know it's supposed to like not only spread around the shave cream, but it's supposed to like poke your skin and like do something. I don't know. There's some whole thing with it.
It helps you lather the soap and like...
Lathering, yep, for sure.
Ross says, yep, I like the look of the razor handle best.
Now, I feel like I should scuff up the inside of this cup, but I didn't do it ahead of time, so I'm not going to do it now. But what I'm going to do is scoop up a healthy amount of epoxy and let it drip in. Because I don't want epoxy all over the sides, so I'm not going to like scrape my stick on the side, but I'm going to get another healthy.
It says it exfoliates.
Exfoliates, that's what I was thinking of. Okay. I think we got enough here. The
Mark
beauty
says
with
the
5
real
minutes.
badgers get angry when you try to take their hair, and you don't want to deal with an angry badger.
Heck no. All right, so I got a pretty good amount down in there. I'm going to put make sure there's no dust on this thing. I'm going to put this in there and kind of just swirl it around, get that epoxy spread around. Ooh, and it just started to peak up to the top. So I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes and try not to knock it off the lathe. So I'm going to stand back here. But what do you guys think? Obviously, I think you would hang it the other way, probably, so it could like drip onto the sink edge and go down, but looks pretty cool. Does anyone did anyone comment, do they use a brush on a regular basis?
Mm-hmm. Ken says he uses one all the time.
Yeah, I would imagine it would feel nice to like brush on your skin. I can honestly tell you this. I stopped working for someone else where I had to wear a suit in 2013, was it, or 2012?
2012, 2013.
2012 or
right around there.
2013. And I immediately donated my suit to Goodwill because I'm like, I'm never wearing this suit again. And I don't think I've shaved with a razor since. I used the electric like trimmer, but I don't think I've used a razor since
Probably
in all
not.
those years because I'm like, don't need to.
Well, you had like a giant beard for a long time. And
After
then,
that,
you guys, he had a giant beard for like a number of years. And then one day, on a whim, he just shaved the whole thing off, didn't tell me, walked around the corner,
It was
and
a
I was
horribly
like,
giant beard.
it was like
But
the little kids when they see their dads and they've only known them with a
they
beard.
cry. You
I was
cry.
like, your face.
You're like, oh, your face. It's like when Bob shaved his mustache.
It's unsettling.
So, I think this is pretty cool if you do have to shave. And for my job as a financial advisor, I had to shave every day, which as soon as I was done, no more. So this suits me better, wearing this cool
Can you
shirt.
flip it around, Chad? Because you're always supposed to store it with the brush down.
Well, I'm letting it dry.
Oh.
Yeah, so the only reason it's up right now is because we got 5-minute epoxy. Here, we can use this as our guide. It's still soft. So obviously I would flip it around, but we're going to let that sit to let that dry. I don't know that we'll have enough time to wait it out. Unless you guys want to wait it out, it's up to you. But pretty cool thing. You can do just a handle. You can do just a brush. We do have stands that fit just the handle. And actually, the stand that fits just the handle, we use them for pens all the time because they look really good and they're like at an angle crossed.
Oh yeah, those do.
That's a razor stand that
Those
we use
look
for
good
pens.
for like big pens, especially like big
Yeah.
fancy fat pens.
But this is a Mach 3. You can get fusion. You can do handles. You can do any color. And they do match. So like the chrome trim on this handle and the chrome here, we got gunmetal, gold, whatever you want.
Let me ask this to the chat. For those of you who use a razor, do you use a straight razor or do you use like a Mach or a Fusion or?
Yeah, we're trying to gauge what kind of razor handles we
Inquiring
should
minds
have.
want to know because we used to have straight razor kits, but they weren't very popular. But I think maybe they're back in vogue now. I don't know. Michael McEwen's in the chat.
Michael McEwen, hello, hello. Hey, are you going to AAW?
Oh yeah, AAW's this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Darren, we have the Fusion and the Mach 3. And we're thinking about straight razor, but we don't know. When we used to have it, no one bought it.
So next week, they're going to be tearing up or not tearing up, but installing in our roof. So we'll be inside doing fun funnel experiments. And we got some cool ideas, so tune in. Fun funnel courtesy of Jake from Jake's Blanks.
Kev,
Is Jake still here?
yeah, he's still here. Kev, I'm glad that someone else remembers this, because Kev said after Chad shaved it off, he saw it on YouTube, and you looked like a baby. Haha.
Well, I don't think
His beard?
I don't think on YouTube I ever had the big beard. That
Yeah, you did.
Weren't those my Bass Pro days?
No.
Oh.
No, that was like YouTube channel too.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah. You had like a big beard.
Yeah, mine doesn't tend to like grow down. It just tends to go wherever it wants. So.
I liked it, but I like your face too. It was just shocking.
It was alarming.
I wasn't ready.
Jake, if you're still here, what is your new website? Because I can never remember, and I always forget to go look. Because it was Jake Blanks. Now it's something else. But the Fun Funnel can be had on his website, and we're going to use them next week. And I've been using them and cleaning them.
Michael McEwen said they just got to the hotel in Minneapolis.
Oh, cool.
I hope everybody who's at AAW posts lots of pictures.
Here's my current Fun Funnel that I have cleaned, perhaps incorrectly, but it's still intact and it's still ready to go. But it's very unique
When
color.
I came out and saw that it turned that color, I was like, what happened?
Yeah, that's all right. All right, everybody. We'll post some pictures of this the correct way in a little while because we're probably going to let this sit at least an hour. Make sure there's nothing on the edge. I wonder if that moves at all. Kind of looks crooked, but actually it feels pretty firm. Here, never mind. We're not going to wait. We're going to do it right now. It feels firm. What do you think? Boom. There it is. Oh yeah, that went hard pretty quick.
Thanks, everybody.
Wait, I turned it over. What do y'all think? Did we lose everybody?
No, a couple people are saying goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye, y'all. But
Great meeting of the riffraff.
it's pretty great. I think I'll do a quick shavings. Ooh,
Yeah.
It kind of feels nice.
I know, see? Because it exfoliates. Exfoliating also always feels nice.
I can't use it too much. This one will be on display in the store. So there it is. Cool gift for dad or yourself or your sister, whoever would want it, your brother. Not a bad looking setup with the stand. Back when I did them, the stands were a lot different and not very cool. This one is like simple and it's not bulky. So
Yeah, I like
I
it.
dig it. But there it is. Razor and stand. Whoop.
If you're at AAW, have so much fun.
Yeah, post
Darren,
pictures.
Yes, Darren. That'll look great
Oh,
on Kara's
crap.
desk.
Oh man, I dropped the razor. See if I broke it or
Not
damaged
sure
it.
why she'd have it there, but that's
Well,
where it
everything
belongs.
will look good there. I hope I didn't break it.
You didn't, but that handle looks real nice. Well, maybe.
Okay. Problem averted. I did not break it by dropping it. But anyway, there it is. If you're at AAW this week, post some pictures for us so we get to see what's the doings. And we hope you all have a good day.
Thanks,
Anything else?
everybody.
Anything else, Amy, before we cut out?
Riffraff Club out.
Riffraff out.
Jim, did you turn it off already?
No?
Oh, I was just saying, Jim, are you at AAW?
Did Jake tell us his website? Jake, what's your website?
NorthsideCustomCrafts.com, right?
Northside. See, I always want to say Jake. No, maybe it was Northside. Now it's Jake Blanks.
Wait, what? Hold on.
He's still here. He'll tell us.
Yeah, NorthsideCustomCrafts.com.
Okay.
I knew it, and then you made me question it in my mind. I'm going to put it in the chat.
All right, y'all. Catch you later.
Putting it in the chat.
All right, y'all. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.